What's going on there, everyone? It's Tyler Shelton. This is Coffee with the Bearded Reviewer, and today, folks, is my very fourth episode in the DCEU DC Extended Universe movie franchise series. And so today I'm going with the movie Wonder Woman #1. So, with that out of the way, let's get started with today's review. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching my channel, and please like and comment down below, and please subscribe to my channel as it really helps me out. And let's get started with today's video. Thank you. So Wonder Woman stars Gal Gadot and Chris Pine as their respective characters of Steve Trevor and Wonder Woman themselves, and it's got a couple other actors that I remember, such as like the guy that is Professor Lupin from the Harry Potter franchise, and he plays Ares, the god of war. And I just have to say right off the bat is that when it comes to kind of like DC villains that we've had since the beginning of time of like comic book movies, like you can actually you can really see that a vast majority of like all of the DC villains are probably the more recognizable and the ones that have made a really big impact in each of the movies that they're in. Like you got Zod. I mean, he's got that very famous line, "Kneel before Zod." And then you got the likes of like the Joker, "Why so serious?" So like you just got like this big slew of incredible villains in the DC comics, and now we got the god of war himself, Ares, and this is in the pantheon of Greek mythology. So like there's just a lot of things that I can really respect in this movie, because it was just I've always grown up watching a lot of movies such as like Troy, Clash of the Titans, Lord of the Rings, a lot of movies that is more kind of like swords, shields, axes, bow and arrows, just kind of like that medieval time of different weaponry. But when you got the likes of like Wonder Woman, because she's actually part of the pantheon of Greek mythology, gods and goddesses and mythical creatures. But I just really love it how they just actually went back into like her original storyline of how she came to be, because in the comic books she had a couple different origin stories, but the one that is more notable is that she's actually the daughter to the god of all creation, Zeus, and she was actually crafted by her mother out of clay, and Zeus brought life to her. That's like the very notable origin story of Diana Prince, Wonder Woman. And I just really love it that they stick with that. And so like there's just a lot of stuff that I have really respect in the art form of what they went with this movie. And I just need to give props to Gal Gadot, because I think I could not see anyone else but her play the role as Wonder Woman. So Gal Gadot, fantastic job. And in a story aspect, I really appreciate the whole story as a whole. And you know what? I just kind of feel like that at the very end of the story, it felt a little bit lackluster, but it was still a really great story all the way through. It kept me on my toes. It makes me want to cheer for Wonder Woman. Yet she's kind of like this fish out of the water, very naive, but very brave, very strong, and this is a character that you can get behind. Someone who is actually just a really good natural born leader, a natural warrior. Like she is the equivalent of like someone that you just want to follow because of their good morals. There's just a lot of things that I just really like about this movie, is that it's just one of those movies that it didn't go so far into like diving deep into the story, but it's just more kind of like you're going with the flow of the story. You're seeing her being from like this fish out of the water naive lady to becoming like this all-powerful yet very graceful hero that you are just going like, yes, you made it, excellent job. And on the other hand, I really love what Chris Pine did in the role of Steve Trevor, because really the story revolves all around him a lot, because the story could not continue unless if he actually really did crash into Themyscira and would not be rescued by Wonder Woman. So all around, I think this movie is just a one-of-a-kind movie. Even though that Wonder Woman 1984, I still had a lot of fun with that one, but nothing is going to compare to the very first one that we got out of this one, because like, it's got heart, it's got great action, it's got a good story. It has kind of like an underwhelming ending, but it's still enough for you to feel entertained enough that I just really have to say that it really felt like that this was more kind of like a character study of Wonder Woman, of what made her become something of a hopeful, good person, someone full of faith in humanity, faith in like her family, just having faith all around, and just knowing that she can actually make a difference to let everyone know that it's all because of love that we can prosper, but it's not through anger, aggression, hatred, all of the sources of the God of War himself. So like the God of War himself, he gets defeated by Wonder Woman, and you actually feel joyous that she finally beat the God of War. So all around, I just want to tell you is that when it comes down to the characters, I think they are perfectly casted. Chris Pine, Gal Gadot, phenomenal. They just had just like the best chemistry you can get in a movie like this. And you also got some of the other supporting characters, such as Professor Lupin as God of the War, and Danny Huston, and a couple others, such as like Robin Wright. You all know her as the Princess Bride, yep, or Jenny. And yeah, there's just a lot of characters that you really love and care about, that like you don't want any one of them to get hurt, but they just did such a really good job when it comes down to the aspect of the characters, because I think it was really the characters that drove the movie. Like, these are characters that you can actually support. You understand their dilemma, you understand their morals. I really do think that the characters is a lot better than the story, but the story is still good. But I just feel like that it felt a little bit disjointed when you get to the very last 20 minutes of the movie. But either way, it's still a very fun, enjoyable movie that even like my own wife and my daughter, they love the movie. And I love the movie too. And so with that out of the way, I just want to tell you that the ranking for this movie is a 8.7. And I also just want to tell you is that being autistic, I don't see it as a disability, but I see it as a privilege. And I just wanted to let you all know is that in this platform is that I just want to showcase that I have a fantastic life. I own a house. I'm happily married to a beautiful wife, a fantastic daughter, and there's just a lot of achievements that I've done, and it's not without the help of God, my family, and my friends, especially from my own wife. And just to let you know my voice, it's just more than enough that I just want to let you all know that there's always an upside for being autistic. If you know anyone, or you yourself is autistic, let's be part of the family. Let's be part of the community where we can always realize that being autistic is not a bad thing. It's always a good thing. We can always thrive on people to help us, and we can always keep on growing. So that was my review for the movie Wonder Woman. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked what you heard, just please press the like button, and also please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And I will see you guys next time.